Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps I take from my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you sick of being normal? I'm sick of being average. I'm sick of being mortal. I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want, I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold, they will watch in amazement.
Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Foot up on the pedal, pushing hard to the metal. Make a deal with the devil, channel rage through my vessel into something that is special. Energy of a rebel, going up a level. I just wanna be greatness, I could feel changes. Turn a new page and tie up my laces. I will be the bravest, break out of my cages. I will not be nameless, I will not be aimless.
Face it, am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
All right, what is going on, guys? What is going on? Welcome back into the Locked In Podcast, episode 173, guys. And if you're watching us this late, thanks for rocking with us. I know it is a little later than, well, pretty much a lot later than our typical time stream. So I do appreciate anyone who can hop on tonight and stream. So do recognize it's a little later. It's actually almost close to our after hours typical episodes that go live around 9 o'clock every once in a while when we do those. But I do want to welcome back to the podcast. Both guys are returning guests. One's been on more recently. Welcome back, Rich Mitchell. Rich, thanks for coming on, brother.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. And then also welcome back in returning guest and also OG to the podcast, Tom Vaughn. Tom, been a little bit, man, but thank you for coming back on the pod, my friend.
Glad to be here. EAGLES.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, bro. Like, that's the thing. Like, I like summer, but like the one thing that is nice at the end of the summer is that obviously we get some Eagles and Birds football, man. Some fun stuff there. And yeah, this schedule release just happened a little over a week ago. So we got our schedule. Actually, I think it's been a couple of weeks almost at this point, but we got this schedule in. So now we know what the schedule's looking like. And we already kind of knew what the opponents were, but now we know exactly who we're playing, when, on the road, home. We got the whole schedule breakdown. So we're going to drop our thoughts on this. We'll walk through, and we'll actually offer predictions as well. Yeah, so we're back in the sports segment tonight. So as Tom said, EAGLES Eagles. Let's go Birds. Mario is also going to try to make it in tonight. He's got something else kind of going on, so we'll see. My goal is to stream probably no later than to 9:30. So we'll try to just keep this brief. We'll walk right through it. Yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, you like what you see, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that notification bell to turn notifications on. Release content every single week related to either personal development or sports, so you don't want to miss that. If you're watching on Facebook, assuming you're already a part of the groups, so thank you. I see something's going on with the public page. We got 2 Facebook groups. The private one looks like everything's streaming well. I'm still trying to kind of get the hang of this. What's going on with StreamYard, where they kind of switched around 4 weeks ago. Something going on with Facebook, but we got them to one of the Facebook groups. So, and we're definitely on YouTube right now. So, either way, guys, also feel free to comment in tonight. We'll throw your comments up on the screen, and yeah, enjoy the show here. So, guys, I just want to hop right into it. Initial thoughts on the schedule. I mean, either of you could go. Yeah, what do you guys think of the schedule this year? My initial thought on it is we definitely have some tough opponents, but I think it's a little lighter than last year, especially with that gauntlet we had towards the end of the season last year.
Well, we had a Super Bowl. We had a schedule of a team that went to the Super Bowl last year, so that's why this year we had that with that epic collapse. I guess NFL decided to take it easy on us on an 11-6 record.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about the Brazil game. I think the Eagles have like one of the strongest fan bases internationally, next to Kansas City, obviously the Steelers, Cowboys, etc. But I mean, just going down into Brazil, and there's probably so many Eagles fans down there. I know, like in Poland, like it's the number 1 team in Poland because it's the national bird or the national symbol of Poland is the eagle. I had some friends in Poland; they're big Eagles fans. So, and the number 1 team over there is called the Warsaw Eagles. So, I mean, there's one of the strongest teams internationally. They did a good job with it. And what better representatives to be the first game in Brazil than the Philadelphia Eagles? So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, that was fun.
What you just said, Thomas, I gotta disagree on one thing, and that's I like the Brazil thing. Don't get me wrong. The location in which they put it in Brazil, they put it in a stadium of a soccer team who hates green. Their biggest rivals are green. So it's like any other stadium but that one in Brazil, I would be on board with you fully.
They picked like what was it? I know there's a green team. It's like Fluminense or something. They were
yeah.
Like it's not in Sao Paulo or Rio de Janeiro. Like they want to do it in either Rio or Sao Paulo. But yeah, I mean Brazil. What a great tourist destination. A great place to learn. A great place to have some fun. I mean, I hope the Eagles to go have a ball because Brazil's one of the places I always wanted to go to.
Yeah,
not too much fun, dog. It's the season.
Too much. I play some futsal in the favela too, if you're brave enough. But
oh man,
yeah, it's crazy. 2 green teams going down there. But to Thomas's, they hate the color green. But to Thomas's point, yeah, no, the Eagles have a great fan base internationally. I would say the Packers have a huge fan base too. So this one should be fun because the Packers have a huge fan base as well. I'm not really sure what their international
matchup. Jordan Love versus Jalen Hurts. I mean, 2 of the premier young quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, it's going to be one of our toughest games, to be honest, of the season. It's right out the gate. So it's going to be interesting. I think if the Eagles can win that, also to the point, if they can win that, they might be able to go into the bye undefeated. But I will say this: a lot of people were upset that the bye was scheduled. I think week 5 we have the bye. A lot of people were upset by that, but if you actually take a look at the schedule, they're on the road 3 of the first 4 games of the season. So they're traveling a lot, and the one game is in Brazil. So I think they're going to need that rest, to be honest. So it's
a lot of old heads remember, like back in the day before the Houston Texans, teams were having bye weeks in like week 2 and then week 16. Like if you remember that, that was a thing. So
wow.
You just get through it and move on, And they were playing AstroTurf concrete back then.
That's crazy. Imagine having a week 16 bye and then a first round bye after that, like 2 full weeks just to relax. Like That's kind of crazy because it's
Mhm.
like you getting a lot of rest, but is it too much? Are you going to be off your game? Another quick to address what you said about the week 5 bye, because I know where a lot of Eagles fans don't like that. I don't know
Yeah.
if y'all been hearing around the fan base when a lot of Eagles fans not happy about that week 5 bye. But the thing is that I want to encourage with Eagles fans, and I said this on Richard Media, I said this on my YouTube channel. From a week 11 to a 12, and this is obviously this is going to be on Richard Media, Locked In Podcast. Go subscribe to both YouTube channels. But week 11 and week 12, there's a mini buy. I don't think anyone sees it, but it's we get that because we got that Thursday night out there versus DC, I believe, and then going to LA. It's a Monday night at 8:20 p.m. So you got a good I think
10,
it's like
10
12,
days. 10
10,
days.
12 days, something like that. Yeah. Like so
Yeah.
you're doing like it's when you really look at everything and for what it is, I mean, you kind of you got to kind of count that as a little mini buy thing from a week 11 to 12, which is perfect placement.
Wasn't it like that? I think it was. We had something like that in the season. I don't know if it was after the Buffalo game or before the Kansas City game. There was like a 14-day layoff or something.
Yeah, we had a Thursday game and then we had a Monday game, so it was like 11 days. It was like
Yeah.
11 day turnaround. We went from Thursday, yeah, because we had 2 primetime games.
We
It was
were
Thursday night football.
Jonesing back then. We didn't even imagine how much Jonesing we were doing now, even though we got the Phillies. So
Phillies are a whole other thing. I'm going to have a podcast on them because the Phillies are playing absolutely incredible ball right now.
Outrageous.
Good times in Philadelphia.
They just don't lose right now, man. They just don't lose. I mean, knock on wood, man. I mean, their schedule it's gonna get tougher as they go, man. But they're as of right now, bro, they're just playing incredible ball.
Eagles, I'm very excited for it. Like if Hurts gets back to form, they're going to be a monster to deal with if they could stay healthy. I mean, Saquon not being at MetLife is a huge plus for his career anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's gonna be
and having an offensive line.
Yeah, it's the strongest offensive line he's ever had. So I mean, like I can only imagine the damage he could do with an offensive line like this. And then yeah, Hurts, I'm always gonna have faith in Hurts because the kid is always like working to grow and learn. So he's humble. I like the kid. So I think that, if you got that guy like, running your team, like he's the quarterback of the team, right? He's the leader. I think also he's going to take a step up vocally, probably in the locker room with Kelsey and with what's his name with
Cox?
Kelsey and Cox retiring. Yeah,
Cox,
two vets retiring. Brandon Graham will still be a big force on the defensive side vocally, but I think on the offense with Kelsey retiring, he's going to take a big step up, like leadership wise in the locker room this year.
I honestly think that he's good for it because he did some really good pregame speeches last year.
Mm-hmm.
Early on too, and I think the reason why he kind of fell back last year was the knee injury. I think there was more than they let on with that, and he tried to play it through it, and obviously he broke down. And he's mentally there. He's mentally smart, and I think with Kellen Moore, running a completely different offense to Brian Johnson in terms of the passing game, I think that's going to be a big, big plus for Jalen Hurts in this offense.
Yeah, that's actually my bad, Rich.
I think Saquon is going to be a huge improvement over. I don't know if Swift's back. I think Swift's gone, right?
Bears. He's on the Bears now, I believe.
Oh, okay. So I think I do like DeAndre Swift, but there was later in the season he wore down. He didn't even average like 3 yards a carry down the stretch.
Yeah, they didn't run him enough, man. They didn't run him enough, and that's Brian Johnson and them guys.
Yeah.
And to your point, I think
on first and second down, he was getting like 2 yards and 1 yard, and he had a 1 yard loss. I like Saquon could sleepwalk to 4 yards a carry, so that's obviously an improvement. I think that's going to take a lot of pressure off Hurts, obviously, because I think even Miles Sanders the year before was like better than Swift. I think he had a little bit of more power, and during the playoffs he kind of disappeared. But Yeah, I think that's Saquon's going to be a huge gain for their offense.
Yeah, no, I think that Saquon's better than Swift. I do like the Andre Swift. I think he's got a good game.
Yeah,
I don't think they utilize him.
I would rather
correctly.
have him than Gainwell, but Gainwell has, goal line potential and stuff like that. So you got.
Gainwell's a backup, man.
Yeah,
Gainwell is a backup.
But he's cheaper than Swift.
He is,
he
but
got
sometimes you got to bring out the dollars. And I think
Yeah.
with Saquon, listen, Hurts with the knee injury that you talk about. Just to address this before we move forward, because I know we're moving off of the Hurts knee injury subject. The reason Hurts' knee got injured is because of Brian Johnson. Don't get that twisted. All the design QB runs over. You can't do that for all season. A quarterback and the hits that he was taking, and he went back from when we had Steichen, he would slide. He stopped sliding when we got, he just took a step back in like almost every category. Hurts when Brian Johnson came,
and that I remember that knee injury. Didn't that come during the Jets game? He planted his foot wrong and his knee went backwards or something. And I was like, oh, how's he playing, man? I woke up this morning and my knee was like on a swivel and I'm like, damn, I can barely walk, dude. I don't know how he's playing football through that.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but this was something I noticed last year. They use no motion, and Kellen Moore uses a ton of motion. So
and another thing, but nothing down the middle, no slant routes down the middle. I mean, y'all play Madden, like that's a cheese play. You could run anyone with that. If you complete that pass, that's an easy 8 yards. Come on, or that's like most of his playbook. You just put AJ Brown in that slot, and you just throw him the ball on a slant route inside. That's 15, 20 yards every time, easy. You're going.
Yeah, people figured us out, man. They figured us out. That's the thing. Like down the stretch, like there's no way, as talented as that offense was, for us to collapse like that. Like that way that offense was last year, there was no reason for that, and we got even better with Saquon. Like, and I'm going to be honest, this is a piece that a lot of people are not talking about. That people got like this guy might be a starter on some teams. This guy we got out of Clemson, like this running back in like the 5th round from this guy. I forget what his name is out of Clemson. This dude,
is it Will Shipley? I believe,
yeah. They were saying this guy could start on some teams. Like, I mean, like that's kind of crazy. Is like we have a 3rd string running back. I guess Gainwell's our 2 right now. And that guy's like our 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, just on the name potential alone, that was like one of the. I can't believe they got 5-6 players that could probably start right now. Like Axeman Jr. is that guy's going to be a superstar. He looks just like his dad, dude. He's unbelievable. I can't believe they actually got him in the 2nd round. Like, where are these teams? Like Howie Roseman is like up here with the player acquisition, and everybody else is down here. I don't know what everybody else is doing. They got Cooper DeJean. He looks pretty good. Who's the other corner they got who's really good too?
The Mitchell. They got Keon Mitchell. They got in the 1st round. Yeah, and that kid's going to be day 1 ready to start.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Dude, they might even cut Bradbury. Like they got.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by June 1st if Bradbury's gone. Yeah. Like when they have opportunity, there are a lot of people saying the same thing. Wouldn't be shocked if they keep him. It's a depth piece, but it's kind of an expensive depth piece. But my guy Heath commented and he said, "Did you guys see the Eagles' offense is the most expensive in NFL history? They better be good." Yeah, man, I did see that, and you know what? I have no doubt that I think that they will be good, man. I'm excited to see.
It fits the cap space though.
I think it's a problem.
Like what we got a lot of cap space though this offseason.
They did, but we locked up guys for years, like which is perfect. We locked Brown up. We locked Skinny Batman. We locked what's his name, Smith up. We locked Saquon up for 3. We locked Hurts has already been locked up, and then on top of it, I don't know if this is going to be Lane's last year or if he has another year in him, but we did lock up what's his name, Dickerson.
I really like Steen too. Even if Lane Johnson does call it a career after this year, I really like that Steen kid. He really impressed me last year.
Yeah. Yeah, they just got pieces, man. And I know with the offensive line, the Eagles are always and they lock Mailata up. So I was gonna say the offensive line, the Eagles are just really good at drafting trenches players, man. They just really, really are. I'm excited, man. They have a lot of depth, and I'm really happy they locked a lot of these guys up, which means they're gonna be here for a while. There's not gonna be any tension with contracts and money, none of that. These guys can just go out there and play ball.
There is pressure though, buddy. Like there is pressure in the sense of, yeah, I know you said earlier that you think that Jalen Hurts is going to improve and he has the character. I agree with you, but I also think Jalen Hurts has no choice but to improve. I feel like if he doesn't step up this year, I feel like there's going to be questions about him being a starter moving forward.
Absolutely.
But I don't see that. I honestly don't. Like, with a healthy knee and his mental makeup and the fact that he lives a very modest lifestyle, he doesn't live his life to excess like other quarterbacks did for us in the past. I think he's just got a good head. He's like an old head in a 25-year-old's body. Like,
I'm not saying that at all. I agree. I'm agreeing with you guys. I don't see it happening, but I'm just saying and what you just said too, like in his mind and how he thinks, it's he has no choice.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like how he's built. It's just the way it ended last season. And his makeup and in his head, right? I don't think he can function without going on all cylinders this season. I just think that's just how he's built. He's going to pull it all in.
Yeah. I think losses like that do motivate great players. I mean, what was it? Mahomes' first playoff year? They lost to the Titans, right? And they got smacked by the Titans or something.
It might have been the Titans.
I forget. It was like 2018 playoffs. He had a big loss, maybe the Bills or whatever. But yeah, he never looked back after that, and now he's 2-3 Super Bowls later, and he's like the guy. He's the guy in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I agree with Rich. I think that the most pressure, especially in the offensive side, is for sure going to be Jalen Hurts, because there's a lot of questions right now. A lot of people you see, not just the media, but even the homegrown people here. He had a great year in 2022. He got us to got to the Super Bowl, and last year it was a big drop off. And yeah, definitely the coordinators had the majority to do with it. But there is going to be a lot of questions this year, and I'm confident that Jalen Hurts will step up too. But yeah, there's absolutely pressure there for sure. Like if this team comes out and they're flat to start the year, it could be not just Jalen Hurts, but also Nick Sirianni going to be in trouble too, because this offense is talented. There's no reason for this team to not be able to. We'll break down their schedule because that's actually one of the biggest things we'll walk through. But,
I honestly think Sirianni has way more pressure on him. He doesn't have like the, he's on his last straw here. I think Hurts is going to stay no matter what.
Well, yeah, Sirianni would be out of here before Hurts, no doubt about it. But I definitely think there is pressure.
Like to start the season, they go 4-4. He's on the hot seat. Like there's
Yeah, he said Carter's going to play 75% of the snaps on the D line this year, 15 sacks plus 20 plus TFL total tackles for loss. Bro, I mean, that would just be crazy. That's like Reddick numbers right there, man. You put
not as maybe as an end, but not as a tackle. Like a nose tackle doesn't get those numbers.
Yeah, that'd be nasty if he could. Yeah, it's that. I'm not gonna lie, Jalen Carter is built different. We'll see, man. I love the optimism there, man. I would love to see that. I love that kid, man. I personally think we got the best player in the draft last year. Mm-hmm. He felt a 10 because of the allegations and stuff off the field, man. We got the best player in the draft last year with Jalen Carter. I really do believe that. And that kid's just gonna continue to improve. So I'm excited to see that, man. We will get into the schedule. So I'm gonna go right to it. You know what I'll do? I'll pull this on my other screen here, and I will share the screen so we can actually see it that way. I think that's the easiest way to kind of break this down. Let me present here.
Yeah, I just gotta say, by the way, thank you, Heath, for commenting. We encourage the comments, and we encourage because the viewers encourage the dialogue. So thank you, my man, for and I appreciate. I like your enthusiasm with the Jalen Carter stats and everything. I feel like that is accurate, man. I think the second time around, I think that he's gonna play lights out. He played lights out his rookie season, so I expect him to continue that.
I do think he's going to have a big year, but I just don't see those numbers out of a defensive tackle like ever. I think 10 sacks I could see, but 15 is like really asking a lot.
Yeah, man, we'll see, man. This kid is a freak. I agree. It is tougher from the interior. It is. We'll see what happens, man. You never know. This kid, like I said, I think this kid is special. So we will see, man.
Maybe Davis could clog up the holes for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Davis is looking good, by the way.
Yeah, Davis. I really like
He lost a lot of weight.
That's what they said. Yeah, they said he's been having a nice off season, man. So we were talking about this, going right into week 1. It's going to be one of the toughest matchups of the year for us. Green Bay, I think, is one of the top 4 teams in the NFC. I think that they took a huge step up last year, getting to the playoffs, beating Dallas. Even though Dallas is, Dallas in the playoffs is a big win. Not only did they beat Dallas, they demolished them. And then they had a really good game. Who did they play? They wound up playing the Niners too, right? And that was
they almost beat the Niners in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. They played hard against the Niners, man. So this is going to be, I think, one of the top 4 teams in the NFC this year. And to any Cowboys fans out there, I'm not a hater. Like, obviously, we don't like Dallas, but I think Dallas is going to take a minor step back this year. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be huge like some of these analysts are betting, but I think Dallas is going to take a step back this year. So my top 4 teams I do have in the NFC are the Eagles, the 49ers, obviously, Green Bay, and the Lions. I think that they're the top 4 teams to beat in the NFC. And I would say the AFC is absolutely loaded. Like, the AFC is loaded with a lot of talent. But this is going to be a tough matchup. It's a Friday night game on September 6th, and we're playing Green Bay, obviously, in Brazil. This is going to be an interesting one. And then, it's going to be our toughest one for a little bit. But what are your guys' thoughts here? I personally think, we can absolutely – this could be a tough game. But I think the Eagles are more than capable of winning this ball game. It's going to be probably close. It's going to be tough. I think the Eagles win it, though.
I think the Eagles win it, too. I don't see – like, it's going to be close. I actually think it's going to be a kind of a low-scoring game, actually.
It might be.
I mean, in early September in Brazil, it's hard to say. Like, because I know it's Southern Hemisphere, but, I mean, it does get hot in Brazil. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I would take the Eagles in that one. I don't care who the Packers added in the offseason. I know they had a pretty decent offseason so far.
They did, too.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah. We both had good off seasons.
Yeah, I'm taking the Birds too. On this one, I actually said that on my schedule predictions. I think week 1 is weird. Week 1 is weird, no matter how good any team is. I mean, if it's any week that we can just steal one from the Packers, and I feel like even if we see the Packers again, playoff time, I hope not. I hope that we don't see the Packers because they're a really good team. But and if we do have to see them, I hope it's in the NFC Championship. But I will say we can steal one from the Packers here. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. And you know what? They're probably thinking the same thing. Maybe they could steal one from us. As much as we're saying that they're a tough team, they're probably looking at us. Oh, the Eagles are a tough team. Can we steal one from them? So, yeah, I think this is going to be a close game. I think the Eagles pull it out. I think they start the season 1-0. And then we kind of, you know what? We have 10 days off there, too. We go from Friday to Monday. And then we have 10 days off to bounce back between Brazil. They're going to need it with the jet lag and all the other stuff, too. They're going to need those 10 days. And then you're playing Atlanta. And I feel like we play Kirk Cousins Monday night. This is the 3rd year in a row we're playing on week 2. Week 2 at Lincoln Financial Field with the bright lights on Monday night in prime time.
I mean,
yeah.
Like, honestly, Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, what the hell is that about? Like, that's just not a fit. I really don't think so. I really, like,
kid too. They
Like,
drafted this.
yeah, I
kid in
think the
first
Eagles
round.
will win that. I know the Eagles always have trouble against the Falcons on Monday Night Football, but they're kind of still in a rebuild. Like they have some.
I don't worry about this game as
Yeah.
much, especially with Kirk Cousins prime time. We always have his number prime time. I'm not saying you overlook anybody, but this is at home. You're at the link. I think the fans are coming off. You're coming off a win, a tough game in Brazil. The fans are going nuts, opening up the season in the link. I think the Eagles get this one against Atlanta, against Kirk Cousins.
Even if Kirk Cousins, God forbid, gets hurt, I do like Michael Penix, but he's still a rookie. He's still raw, but he's got a lot of potential. I think that could be a long-term solution for them. But I mean, this early, I mean, they're still in a rebuild. They got nobody on defense. Raheem Morris is way better coach than Arthur Smith is. But yeah, they're not quite there yet, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to factor in the point, and I apply this to, the first probably 5 games of the season or so, especially applying. Another reason why I think we can win the first 2 games pretty easily is because no one has seen this type of Eagles yet. Like, we don't even know what they're going to look like as fans. So imagine like the opposing teams trying to figure out, okay, they got Saquon Barkley, they got AJ Brown, they got Devontae Smith, they got Dallas Goedert, they got Will Shipley, which who we just drafted.
Mhm.
This guy is looking like a powerhouse as a running back. You still got Gainwell back there. You got so many weapons. Who do they know there's the offense gonna be built around? They don't know who the offense is gonna be built around. Then you got Jalen Hurts, the ultimate dual threat in the NFL right now. Who do we cover? Because Saquon's on the check down. Now, we didn't have that last year, or he wasn't used like that last year.
Saquon is a great blocker too. Everybody forgets that, but he's a way better blocker than DeAndre Swift and Kenneth.
Yeah, offensively we're going to be nasty, and in the defensive side of the football, we got two new coordinators, so it's it's going to be interesting to see how the game plan. Fangio's been around. It's going to be interesting, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just think with the motion that Kellen Moore brings, I agree on the offense. It's like, what are you going to they're not. It's going to be hard for teams defensively to game plan for our offense for sure.
Yeah. There might be some growing pains with the motion early on. I think there's going to be some penalties, but I think it's a much better offense already, just looking at it.
Yeah. I think across the board we're all agreeing here. 2-0 to a 2-0 start. And then we move south to continue to play the NFC South. We go to New Orleans in the Dome. Now this one, New Orleans, I don't really know what to make of them. I think that the Dome games always are kind of tough. Again, this is a game that I think the Eagles they should win. We're better than the Saints realistically, but I do think Dome games playing down in New Orleans are tough. On the road and stuff. I think it'll be closer than people think, but again, I do have the Eagles winning this game. I think this is an opponent that you beat, you win, you win against, and yeah. Again, I don't know what New Orleans. I will say this though, they do have a pretty good defense. And their coach is defensive minded. Yeah. So I think it'll be closer than people think, but I think the Eagles do win this game. I don't really know offensively what the Saints are really going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think the Saints, they could actually win the NFC South. I mean, they still have a good team. Like Alvin Kamara is still pretty good. Michael Thomas is still there. Derek Carr isn't terrible.
A couple of analysts think that the Panthers are going to win the NFC South. They think they're going to take a big leap and that they're actually going to be a wild card team.
Come on,
or they could get in as a wild card. Well, here's the thing. I heard the guy one of their coaches that went there. He was the guy that turned Geno Smith's career around. Russell Wilson had his best passing years with him.
I think they're so far behind everybody else. They are the Florida Marlins of the NFL. They are so far behind everyone there.
But Thomas, that's what people were saying about the Lions.
No,
last year
the Lions had a couple of years where they were kind of on the come up though. Like the 2022, they gave us a tough time, and they had a decent year. So, the Lions didn't come out of nowhere. They had a couple of years. I mean, the Panthers need a couple of years. I mean, Bryce Young needs a couple of years to really get his stuff together, So, yeah, I really think the Saints are probably one of the tougher games early on, that people are overlooking. So that's where I'm going with that.
They got a good defense, but I still think we could smoke them. I still think.
I think the Eagles might edge that out somehow.
I think it'll be a
I
close
don't
one.
think they'll know how to. It's too early in the season. These teams won't know how to game plan. They'll have some footage, but we could switch things up. Kellen Moore's pre-snap motions. He has so many looks, and he's on the top of the NFL for, like Steve said, pre-snap motions. That obviously you're right about the growing pains and penalties. I definitely see that. I definitely agree with that. That there is going to be some early penalties to deal with the pre-snap, but I think once we get it down. And I think that this team is going to benefit more from the pre-snap than be hurt by it.
Dennis Allen, really good defensive, by the way, too. Really,
I agree. I think Eagles the next week are this is going to be a revenge tour game. They're gonna beat the crap out of the Tampa Buccaneers on the road. I really
Tampa,
do.
I agree.
I think they're going to go down to Tampa, and you know what we got. They extended what was it, Winfield, but we actually got Devin White, one of their linebackers. I think we're going to go down there, and I think we're actually going to beat the dog shit out of them.
I think they will too. I mean, that could go either way, but I think the Buccaneers do take a slight step back. I do think Baker Mayfield is kind of for real. I mean, I always was impressed by him. I was always a fan of his, even in Cleveland. But I don't see him being year in and year out consistent enough. 1 year he's going to be great like he was last year, and 1 year he's going to suck. So I think the Eagles are going to win that. Mike Evans is getting older. I mean, they need a lot of help in Tampa Bay, but I think they'll be okay. But
yeah. So we all got them 4-0 kind of going into the bye here. 4-0 into the bye. I agree. Here. And then they get much needed rest because it's like we said, technically, they say two road games to start the season, but it's really 3 because we're going to Brazil for the first game. So our only home game has been Atlanta. So I think that with all the travel that they're going to need, that bye. They might as well stay south for the New Orleans and Tampa games. They might as well just stay south. So that's really to come back up, and then you got that bye. And then we get into this is going to be an interesting matchup, but I will say that the Eagles are home. They're going to be coming off the bye. You're playing the Cleveland Browns. Now you're off the bye. You're at home. I think again, Cleveland's really good defensively, and offensively, they're a little streaky, but this is the game because especially this is actually the best scenario to come off the bye against this team at home. I think the Eagles are going to take this one because it actually with the rest and then you're playing at home, you're coming home for your second game. I think they take this one. I think it might be a little close, but it might not even be, especially coming off the bye. We'll see. But we have a good offensive line. They got a good D line. We'll see. But I say the Eagles win this one. They start the season 5-0.
Rich, you could take this one. I'm kind of still gauging the Browns.
I will say this. I agree with you on defensively with the Browns. Offensively, I do believe that the Browns make way too many mistakes offensively. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that this team is going to get 3 interceptions this game off of the Cleveland Browns. Due to the bad offensive play. I don't think they have an established offense. I don't think that it's consistent, and I think they're prone to mistakes, and it costs the team as a whole. I think they have a very solid defense. I will say that, but it's not enough to carry.
To your point about 3 interceptions, guess if Deshaun Watson can't make it, guess who's his backup?
Who?
Jameis Winston. So, I mean, I always liked Jameis Winston, but he does throw a lot of interceptions. So.
30. He had that 30 touchdown, 30 interception year.
Out of his
30 picks in a year.
What was it? When he was in New Orleans, he was like okay-ish, but and I think Kevin Stefanski does okay with quarterbacks. I mean, some of the backups they had last year actually played better than Deshaun Watson did. So, who knows with Jameis? But yeah, I mean, it's Jameis. Like Jerry Jeudy's a wide receiver. That's going to be interesting too. So, I actually think that would be a low-scoring, close game, but I think the Eagles will pull that out like 19-9 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it might be, but I think the Eagles are going to pull it out. Our offense is better than their offense.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. So we pull that out, and then we go down to MetLife. Well, we go up to MetLife.
We're down north.
Yeah, exactly. We're down. We're down a little
skip
further.
this one. It's a W.
W. Revenge tour game for Saquon coming up to going back home to
Barkley killing them.
I mean, Malik Neighbors' position, but yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Daniel Jones or Tommy DeVito. I mean, I like Tommy DeVito. It's more Duke boy, but yeah, that's a W. I'm sorry.
Tommy DeVito, Tommy Salami, the Italian stallion, Tommy DeVito.
Little C. I call him C. He looks like C from Bronx Tale.
C. Colorado.
He don't even talks like him. He's like, "Hey, I'm Tommy DeVito and eat at Subway, eat fresh." Like
yeah, I think that's going to be. I don't even think that game's going to be close. Yeah. They're just going to blow the Giants out. Giants got their first win against us last year when we were struggling down the stretch there. That was their first win in like years against us.
Yeah.
They're going to blow the doors off the Giants. So I got them starting 7-0, and this is
yeah.
I think the next week is where I actually give the Eagles
I think Joe Burrow is kind of going to wear down if their offensive line doesn't improve. Like, come on. I mean,
I will say that.
Slow. Like they always start like 0-6 and then get hot, but yeah, I don't think. Yeah, they got tough.
If this was later in the season, I would probably have the Eagles winning this, but I think Joe Burrow is still going to be, healthy at this point in the season. You just don't know with the offensive line later in the season. Dallas, I saw on their schedule, they get this team later in the season. We get them earlier. I'm just going to say because, it is still October here. You're going to Cincy. I feel like they got to lose a game. They're eventually going to lose a game. I think this is going to be the one that if you're going to lose it, you're going to lose to Cincy, and it's on the road. If it was home, I'd probably take the Birds here, but you got to go to Cincy.
I don't think it's a factor that early. It's still October. If they went, I think it'd be a problem like in December because it gets cold in Cincinnati. But
it does. But Burrow, you don't know where Burrow would be in December. I'm going to be honest with that. With the offensive line or where he's going to be in the season, you really don't know if you played December. So I actually think because this is an October game, it doesn't favor us as much because of that.
But I think the Bengals always the first half of the season they're always terrible and they get hot in the second half. Usually.
Yeah, you said Burrow hasn't been good for a season. Well, I mean, he was hurt. He was hurt last year, and he did get. I'm not gonna lie, he went on a stretch where he was hot, and then he got hurt.
Before he got hurt, because they started out like 0-5.
Yeah, and he did lose weapons. They lost Mixon, they lost T. Higgins.
Yeah.
I do think Joe Burrow was a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, though. I mean, I'm just being realistic. I think that he is that guy, and he is talented as hell.
I mean,
it's just the offensive line.
I mean, it's like Carson Wentz. Like when he injured his knee, he got like 5 concussions and then hurt his back and hurt his ribs. I mean, there's only so much a man can take, and I just it's starting to add up for Joe Burrow even early in his career. So we got to watch out, for him a little bit.
Yeah, you go back to Tommy DeVito. He said Tommy Pickles.
Tommy Pickles.
Tommy Pickles. I mean, I will say this about Joe Burrow. Like, people don't ever think of this, but he's the only guy that beat Mahomes in the AFC Championship. Like, you saw, and I'm not going to lie, the year we went to the Super Bowl, they were what was it?
Their defense.
They got excessive roughness or whatever they get, like an illegal contact play from going back to the Super Bowl and playing us. So I'm not going to lie, man. The Bengals, I will say this, though. Heath is actually right there. He said that he did lose weapons,
and defense is stunk since their Super Bowl season. The Super Bowl year, their defense caught fire late in the season, and they were unstoppable.
He said top 7. Calm down, Steve. All right, well, name 6 quarterbacks that are better than Joe Burrow. I'll give you that. Name 6 quarterbacks.
Mahomes, Hurts, Allen.
Mahomes, yeah.
He's like top 5, I would think.
Yeah, I don't think Allen's better than Joe Burrow. I don't.
I think Allen's better than Burrow.
I don't think. He is.
Lamar Jackson, I would put over Burrow.
That's tough, man. If
Lamar though in the playoffs, man, like Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl.
Lamar's pretty bad.
I can't get that to Lamar, man.
Lamar
He's got two MVPs.
Lamar is a choke artist in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
Lamar.
We gotta be honest with ourselves here.
They didn't run the ball. Actually,
They
didn't run the ball.
Allen, Lamar.
Yeah, what?
You cannot put Lamar above Burrow, bro.
I got Burrow better than Lamar, dog. I mean, yeah, Burrow better than Lamar. And this coming from a brother. Listen. I love Lamar. Lamar is probably better than Burrow and Allen during the regular season. But if we talking playoffs, it's kind of like one of those things where playoffs he just falls off, and you got to kind of factor that into the overall.
So I'll say this: Allen is in the conversation. I absolutely I Thomas thinks Allen's in the conversation. I would actually probably say those are the top three. Now Hurts Hurts from 2022, yes. I do agree that Hurts needs to. There's going to be pressure on Hurts this year. I think Hurts can be a top three, absolutely. But valid. But I cannot put Lamar there. So he also said, he said Houston, Bull from Houston, CJ Stroud, yeah. And so Stroud, I will say this, he could be, but we still have to see on Stroud because I don't think the sample size is big enough yet.
Yeah,
I can't put him above Burrow yet.
They have no weapons. Maybe I'm not thinking of it, but yeah, Stroud came out of nowhere and
I think Stroud is a beast. I'd say maybe some people might put Herbert in the conversation too over there.
Herbert is good, but I just don't think he's another guy that falls off in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But their defense has been one of the worst defenses in the league. So I'm curious to see with Jim Harbaugh going there to see what he can do with a quarterback like Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Heath was saying they do have weapons over there in Houston. I'm not too familiar with.
He watches the Texans.
They got what's the name? They do. They got one big weapon.
Who they get as the running back out there?
No, the wide receiver the one DeAndre Hopkins.
No, he's not.
No, he's not there anymore.
Oh, he was there last year though.
Let me see. Texans.
He had D-Hop.
They had him a couple of years ago. He was on the Cardinals last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got Mixon. They got Mixon and Stephon Diggs.
All right, I knew they had somebody. I was like, oh, this is going.
They picked up Stephon Diggs in the offseason.
He was a 1-15 team and made them a playoff team.
Joe Mixon, that's a big piece.
Yeah, Houston's a threat.
I will say this over in Cincy though. Joe Burrow still does have Jamar Chase, he can be a beast. I don't know. Joe Burrow though is one of those guys, man. I do think he's special. I think the kid's special. I think he can make other players around him better. But here's the key. I agreed with you there, Thomas. That offensive line might wear him down. They lost piece on the offensive line, and that you need an offensive line, man.
Joe Burrow would be the number one quarterback in the NFL if he had the Eagles' offensive line. I just don't. And it's just I don't know what it is with Burrow. I was rooting for the Bengals a couple years ago. I love Joe Burrow, but yeah, it's just not I think he's top 5 that's about it, you know.
Yeah. I mean it's valid. It's valid. I mean there's other guys. I say top 3, but also it's valid top 5. I wouldn't say top 7. I'd say top 5, you know. There's valid that there's other guys ahead of him for sure. He has to have a step up here. I think there's pressure on Burrow too. He has to have a step-up year this year. He's like Hurts, you know. He's been to a Super Bowl and lost. You know, he's gotten there just like Jalen Hurts has and lost. So it's similar situations. Mm-hmm. He said 6-0. Carter, Milton, Williams will ruin the game. Yeah, I have him 7-0 through the Giants here, and then I have him losing to Cincy to be 7-1. That's my first loss. Can the Eagles beat Cincy? Yes, I think they can. I wouldn't be shocked if they beat them, but I think it's their first.
I agree with you, 7-1. We got to lose sometime, and I just think out there and against the Bengals, I think that's going to be the game. I think Burrow can really step up. I know he lost some weapons, but I think Burrow can still pull out one against the Eagles. But I will say in reality it's 50-50 game. I mean, it's really 50-50.
You know
It
what?
really is.
I'm gonna say tie. I'm gonna say tie because the last two ties the Eagles had were against the Bengals. So why not
Are you gonna go with the tie here?
go with the tie? So 7-0-1.
That's some good research. That's some good research.
So why not?
Thomas, I'll buy you like like I know you're not a drinking dumb man, but I'll buy you I'll buy you like a dinner on me, bro. If they tie, bro, a dinner on me, bro. You choose the spot, bro. I got you.
Yeah, I got you on the drinks too. When we go, I'm with you on that one,
Buy you sparkling water,
Nothing
club
wrong with
soda
the
or
tie
something,
sometimes.
man.
I'm a soccer fan, so I'm used to it.
There you go, man. I got you with dinner, bro. If they tie it up, that's crazy, man. If they tie again.
Why not?
Then we got Jacksonville Sunday game. Dougie P coming back to the link. Rich, actually, bro, when it was your birthday a couple years ago, man, remember we watched at Xfinity, all of us. Actually, all three of us were there. We watched them actually play Doug Peterson when he came back to the link. Jacksonville, they're one of those teams where it's like, I don't know what they are. They look good at spurts and then they don't. But it is in Lincoln Financial Field. Dougie P coming back here. I got the W here. I think the Eagles take Jacksonville. It could be one of those teams where you never know. Trevor Lawrence, but I think we take that game.
Is that in October by any chance?
The first week of November, so we got it. It's a November 3rd game.
Oh, yeah. November. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. What do you think, Thomas?
I think they clear the Jaguars. Like the Jaguars didn't. Their biggest addition was literally Mac Jones as a back. So I was like, honestly,
yeah, that's a Sunday night football game too. That's a primetime game.
Oh my, that's getting that. Please flex that. Like seriously, I hope they make it like a 12:30, 1 o'clock hangover.
They got Mac Jones.
Yeah, it's the backup.
Yeah, that's crazy. They got Mac Jones. Oh wow. Wow.
That's their big free agent pickup, Mac Jones, like backup quarterback.
Mac Jones stinks.
Tony Khan needs to get off whatever,
stinks, bro.
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Dude stinks. Like I remember he was throwing his teammates under the bus and stuff. Dude, it's like he was the worst one out of like the Tua, the whole thing that happened with Tua hurt and Mac Jones. Bro, Mac Jones is
Karen. He's not even better than Brody Croyle. I'd take Brody Croyle right now, Mac Jones. If you're Brody Croyle, that was like the first Nick Saban quarterback, right?
Yeah, for real. Like, so that's gonna be. I got them beating the Jags, man. Then we got the boys on November 10th. So we're playing them in Dallas to actually start this year. So we got the
Dubs on
got
Dubs.
The boys. Like I said, I think Dallas is taking a step back this year. I will say Dallas is always one of those teams, though, is even if they're not having a great year, we always seem to split with them. I don't know, though, man. I'm going to be honest. I think we're taking Dallas, and I think we're beating them twice this year.
Well, we play them at home. This is the first time in, like 5 years we get to play them at home for the first game. I still think we split.
No. We've actually been playing them at home for the first game before, so we're actually getting them on the road for the first game here. But you know what? This is going to be beneficial down the line. Second to last.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the first time we play them at home, like our home. It's in a long time. And I mean, I still think we split with the Cowboys, but I just think that I think that this is the one we win. And the reason I think we split with the Cowboys this year is because I feel like by the time we get to the Cowboys again, we may be able to sit our starters and play backup possibly. I'm that confident in this team. Yeah.
I think they beat the Cowboys. I mean, I just really think like when your biggest acquisition is Ezekiel Elliott coming back, I mean, geez, like come on. And they're up against the Caps. So they don't really get anyone else. I didn't think their draft was any good. So like, I mean, they're not an exciting team, are they? So I think the Eagles win this one. It's 425 at Dallas. I really don't see like Cowboys. I think they actually beat them both times. I think the Cowboys really do take a step back this year. There's nothing about them.
Yeah, I agree.
No problem.
Micah Parsons is good. Dak Prescott turned the corner last year, but I mean, seriously, it's just not.
Yeah, no. And listen, guys, I 100% agree with the Cowboys saying most definitely. We're halfway. We're at the halfway point through the schedule, so I'm gonna let you guys take it from here on. I do have to head out,
Okay.
but thank you, Steve, for having me on here. Thank you guys for having me on. If anyone's curious about my specific thoughts on the
Yeah.
schedule, I do have a video up on Rich M Media that goes through the whole schedule as well. But uh, again, like I always say, go to the source. Finish. If you're watching this right now, make sure you subscribe to the Locked In Podcast on YouTube. Go follow on Instagram. You see the plug at the bottom. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, no problem. Rich, thanks for coming on. So, guys, if you actually want to subscribe, Rich has a lot of Eagles content going on YouTube. He's got a couple K subscribers too. Rich has a lot of stuff going on his channel. Definitely check him out, guys. So, if you're Eagles fans, you'll love his channel, Rich M Media on YouTube. I just dropped it down there, so definitely go check it out. We collab a lot on here, so.
I gotta check that out. I didn't know you were doing that, Rich. So I'm sorry, but I'll check it out definitely now that I know.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. We're trying to get the word out. We're getting it out right now. So this is why we do what we do.
Exactly.
Out up in these streets here. So
All right, guys, take care.
All right, Rich. Take care, brother. All right, man. So we'll go back here. Heath actually commented in. He said, so my guy Heath over there said, first loss is to the Ravens. I agree they are going to lose to the Ravens. I do think they're going to lose that game in Maryland.
I think the Ravens will kick their ass a little bit. I think it's going to be a come to earth moment, and then, but I think the Commanders, that's a win. They are
at home. Yeah, Heath actually said he thinks they lose both Maryland games. So like they got the game obviously in Landover for the Commanders. I actually might agree there. I think that the Commanders could actually be the second best team in the division this year with Dallas taking a step back. We shall see. But he said this quarterback they drafted over there could be good. We'll see. They got a new coach.
What was it? It wasn't Caleb Williams. It was
let me see.
The guy from Jaden. Oh, they got Jaden Daniels. I thought, wait, who did New England get?
Jaden Daniels. Yeah, they got this kid Jaden Daniels.
I like him, but I don't know. I mean, they do have Terry McLaurin still, but I mean, yeah, they're just still like so early in their rebuild.
Commanders give us trouble. I don't know, man. We almost lost with Hal last year, like when we played them. I just think they play tough.
I don't know how that work. By the way, with Jaden Daniels going to run Cliff Kingsbury's offense. And your backups, Marcus Mariota. I mean, they have some players, but how's that?
Yeah, I don't.
Austin Eckler's your running back. I know he's a great pass catching running back, but
who's their coach over there in Washington? Dan Campbell, right?
I'm not
Dan Campbell. Why am I saying?
Dan
Dan
Quinn. I like him, but I just think it's so early in the process. And Cliff Kingsbury's offense, like that, you would want I would rather have Cliff Kingsbury to work with someone like this offense. But other than that, very specific type of offense that requires specific skill sets.
Yeah. So I had them. What 7-1. Then and then I had them 8-1 here against Jacksonville. I have them 9-1 against Dallas, and I do agree, Thomas. I think the game here in the link, we go 10-1.
Yeah, that might be cool. I think the Eagles pull it out.
I'll skip down to here and I'll go 10-2 with the Ravens, and then here with the Rams. Another tough. I don't know. The Rams. You just don't know what type of Rams team you're gonna get. You know, they play good They play good football at certain parts of the year, and then they just don't look that great.
The Eagles always pull out with wins.
We do. We always seem to beat the Rams, man. Always.
They have kind of an answer for Sean McVay. I do think that the Rams are always a scary team to go up against, but the Eagles. I actually, you know what? I'm going to pick the Rams for this one. I think they're due against us. I think that's going to be the first loss because I mean their offense is so. They got Blake Corum as a running back now. I mean they got a really stacked offense. So I think they're going to give us a run for our money.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say that they're gonna win that one. That they're gonna lose to Baltimore because I don't see them with two back-to-backs there.
I think they will lose back-to-back. So
Okay, so you got them. So you got them 10-3, right there. I got them 11-2.
2-1. Remember?
Oh yeah, 10-2-1. Yeah, 10-2-1.
10-1. So
10-2-1. I
I,
got them.
they can clear the Panthers pretty. I think they're going to smack the Panthers. I think it's going to be an ugly game.
Yeah, it's at the link too, so they'll beat the Panthers. I mean, even if it wasn't at the link,
I think it's going to be at least 40 points against the Panthers.
So I got them 12-2, man, through there. So there's not really as much of a gauntlet. And Pittsburgh is like they're going through a weird stretch there where they got to play a lot of tough teams because they're in a tough division.
The Steelers
won that one too.
Here, let me see who they got a quarterback. They got Russell. I think Russell Wilson's going to do really good there. Even if not, I think Justin Fields will be fine there too. I'm going to say that's a loss. I think
I'm going to say a win because every time we play Pittsburgh, it seems like at home we always beat them. That's one of those teams where we always
maybe. Yeah. I'm going to say loss just because I really think Russell Wilson's going to really resurrect his career in Pittsburgh. I really feel that.
Russell Wilson always does seem to always play. Yeah. We've never beaten Russell Wilson in our history. So,
the first thing that pops up is noted Pittsburgh fan, Governor Josh Shapiro somehow, even though he's from Abington. But anyway, from there, he's always. I'm sorry, I nothing against him, but he's like supposed to be a Philly guy, but he always daps up the Pittsburgh. He might not even be running his accounts anymore. Maybe it's Austin Davis, the Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like messing with them. He goes Steelers, and it's like he can't say he was hacked.
Yeah, Heath commented. He said below. He said, "I know this is supposed to be an Eagles episode. We should talk about the Phillies historic grind." Yeah, we'll definitely chat some Phils at the end. I mean, we won't stay too late, but Phillies are playing unbelievable ball right now. Incredible ball.
But they never
seem to lose anymore. Yeah, they never seem to lose anymore. Man.
While it's happening, Rangers
just swept the defending champs.
Ranger Suarez, the new Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, right. What's Ranger right now? 9-0 this year.
He's 9-0 with like a 1.2 ERA.
Killing it, man.
That's my guy, Venezuela.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The Phillies though, like they every single time one player's lacking, the other parts of the order pick up. Like his team looks incredible.
Yeah, even Walker, he'll like allow 3 runs in the first inning and throw a no-hitter afterwards. It's so funny.
I think the Rangers scored the first run in every single game in this series.
Yeah, and then they won like by combined like 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think they lose the Steelers. I think they beat the Commanders. I think they went out the last.
So what do you have them at that point? 10-3-1 through
I think 13-3-1
or 11. Okay, 13-3-1.
Yeah.
All right, so I got them actually right through here 12-2, and then I actually have them losing this game to Washington. And then at that point we'd be 13-3, and I think the Eagles actually might. I was going to say they were going to beat them twice, but you know what? At this point in the season, the Eagles actually might take their foot off the gas a little bit because they might actually be in contempt for maybe the conference at this point, let alone the division.
No, I think they play. I think they play all their stars. I really do.
Not that they don't play their starters, but maybe they do. If they don't flip a game to Dallas, I could see this game here against the Rams, like you were saying. Maybe they do lose that game.
The number 1 seed is going to be in play. I don't know if it's going to be San Francisco. I don't know if it's going to be Green Bay. Some people might say it's Detroit, but I think that the number 1 seed will be in play by the time they play the Cowboys, and they'll have to win to guarantee themselves with the number 1 seed, and then they'll rest their starters in New York.
Okay,
yeah. And for it because they keep getting mad at us for doing that, even though we always play them the last game of the season. They're always out of it. So.
Yeah, so I have them either losing here to Dallas or I have them losing to the Rams. Either way, at this point, I'm going to have them 13-3, or I think
4. You said.
What would I have them at? 12-3 right here, and then 12-4 right here, and then I would have them winning that final game against the Giants. So I'm going to have the Eagles at 13-4 this year. That's where I got them.
Yeah.
They could either lose this Dallas game or they could lose to the Rams, but I'm going to have them at 13-4. I think that could be enough. I haven't seen the Niners schedule. It could be enough for us to win the conference to get the 1 seed. But
See 12-4-1 because I'm either way on that Pittsburgh game. I think I said a loss, but yeah, I'm either way on that Pittsburgh game.
it said Barkley MVP, $100 wins $30K. Let's fucking go. Yeah, that would be crazy because I don't. When's the last time a running back won the MVP? Was it Adrian Peterson?
Yeah,
Here we go.
Peterson.
Was it
Wait that up real quick because that was the last one I remember. Yeah.
Sean Alexander won it like before that. I think with I think Sean Alexander won it with Seattle in like 06 or 07.
MVP was Adrian Peterson in 2012.
Yeah, a little over a decade ago. AP won it.
There was a guy a couple years ago who was up for it and he lost. Was that Mixon? Or no, that wasn't Mixon.
Maybe McCaffrey had a chance this past year.
That's right. Yeah,
McCaffrey had a chance to win it. I'm not gonna lie. I would love it. The reason why I think the odds are so high is because I think this offense is so high powered. Is that Barkley's not just going to be the only.
I don't think Barkley's going to be like the every down back though. I don't think that's it. I think Hurts might be a better pick, but
I think that's why it's such a wide margin for you to win so much is because they think that this offense has so many weapons that Barkley's not going to be just like the main horse. So it's just because it's such a dynamic offense, there's so much to spread the ball around, which is why they say it. But you know what, man? It doesn't hurt to bet that. I'm not going to lie. It really doesn't.
What Barkley's going to be good for is he's going to get like 12-yard runs. And then like one play, he'll run for a 75-yard touchdown, and then they're not going to use him again. That's what I think is going to happen with Barkley. Or they might just rotate the running backs down the stretch. He might get a lot of use in the fourth quarter. But I think they're going to really kind of be easy with him because of his knee injury history. And they'll use guys like Gainwell and Boston Scott more often than not.
Exactly. Which should be
but I think Hurts for MVP is going to be a good shout. McCaffrey's always got a shot. Mahomes is AFC, but yeah. I mean,
Mahomes is always going to be.
It's going to be like a tight MVP race. It's going to be interesting to see, and who knows? Maybe AJ Brown has like 1,500 yards receiving and 20 touchdowns, and win the MVP that way. So,
exactly, we shall see, man. And then he wanted to talk some Phillies at the end here. I think the Eagles is going to be a super exciting season. It's crazy to think the Phillies are 2.5 games up on everybody in the entire MLB. And if you actually look at the conference, the Phillies are 4.5 in the NL. They're 4.5 games up on the Dodgers.
They're on a crazy tear. I think they won 7 in a row. I think it's been fun. It's been like cruise.
Yeah, the Phillies are. They've won 6 games.
Let my cat watch it, and then I'll go do other stuff. I'll come back. It's like they scored 10 runs. This is amazing. Like I love it.
It is, man. It's crazy. Like the Phillies have won 6 in a row, and they're 9-1 in their last 10. 9-1 in their last 10.
This is the stuff when back in the day you played like the franchise mode in MLB The Show or MLB 2K, and you play plays and you get all these crazy like creative players that you drafted, and you're like 10 seasons in, and those are the type of teams you have. Like I live for this stuff. I live for the Phillies to be dominant, and it's awesome to see.
Exactly. Let me reshare. I was gonna share something here and then try to let's see. Yeah, no, this is what I was looking at. So they had them here, and they let me zoom in a little bit here. Oh, zoom out. There we go. Yeah, no, they're up plus 93 differential too.
Let me see the Rich M Media real quick before I forget because I have amnesia real bad.
Rich M Media. Yeah, the Phillies are just filthy, running away with that. And if you actually look at like the leagues, like it's nasty. Phillies are 4.5 up in the National.
Oh, did you get your City Connect gear yet? That is absolutely cold. Let me show you the hat I got, by the way. Hold up.
Let me see.
This is the coldest hat I've ever bought. Let's see if I can find it.
Franchise records all over the place. Ranger Suarez records. Strom, Hoffman, Alvarado, out of the pen, 7 sweeps to May. Bohm with 50 ribbies on pace for 150 with 320 batting average. Harper was 1200. Yeah, Bohm is just man, unbelievable, dude. Like on a pace for 150 RBIs. This team is just nasty. It is nasty. Look at this, like 4.5 up in the conference right now. And we have played 51 games. 51 games. Bohm's got what, 50 ribbies. On pace for like 160. It's almost like he gets an RBI a game.
Yeah. All right, I'll show you my Bryson Stott City Connect shirt. Like, this is like I had to get one. Where is it? Here. I had to get one. That's my guy. They didn't have Ranger Pro Image, which I'm kind of mad. I got to get a Ranger Suarez jersey. That is like my number one guy, but this is like he's up there for me. I love all the guys, but Stott's my guy. Alec Boehm's my dad's favorite.
Yeah, he said Turner's been down for 3 weeks, and they didn't even miss a beat with his 350 batting average.
Cody Clemens, like, what are they going to do with Cody?
That's what he said, because Clemens and Sosa have been so good. They've been balling out, man.
What, DFA Merrifield at this point, he's the only bad one right now. He's the only one worthless, you know.
You watch, he's going to be the one that he's going to come up in the next series.
Playoffs, and I'm going to eat my words. I'm at like 500 in the playoffs, hit like a bunch of walk-offs. I'm going to eat my words for saying that.
Let's see. And you got the Miami Marlins, who are horrible. We're actually playing the worst team in the NL. The next series, we're playing the Rockies.
Oh, they're. What if they? Imagine if they get swept. Like, imagine that. That'd be just a coming to earth moment. And Ricky Batalka is going to have a heart attack on it.
Ricky Bo.
That's my guy, dude. Don't talk shit about Ricky Bo. He's the man. I listen to him every day. He's the biggest Eagles homer. He says every week during the Eagles season, he's always like, yo, they're gonna win like 100-0. They're gonna kill everyone. Fletcher Cox is gonna rip some dude's head off, and I'm gonna laugh. I love Ricky Batalka.
Heath was like, did you guys know that Ruben Amaro signed Suarez at 16 years old for $25K?
Yeah, that's how they do it. The Venezuela, and that was like 2012. I remember Carlos Ruiz was signed, I think, the year Mike Lieberthal made his debut or something crazy like that. He was signed by it was like Ed Wade's first signing was Carlos Ruiz, and he didn't come up till like 2006 when Pat Gillick was GM.
Wow.
And he was like almost 30. That was crazy to me. Because it when you go to Citizens Bank Park, they'll give you date acquired, and it was like everybody was like 2000, 2001. He was like 1996.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they get these Venezuelan Dominican kids young. Or Carlos Ruiz was from Panama, but I think he played in the Venezuelan league or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you actually took the Phillies record now and you said, so we've played, 51 games? If you did multiply it by 3, it'd be 153 games. Not quite the 162. But you think about it like this. If you multiply this by 3 to 153 games, they would be sitting at right now 111 and 42.
Yeah.
So with an opportunity to, if they can keep up their pace throughout the next 2/3 of the season, they could be on pace to hit 117 wins, which would break the all-time winning record, which was 116 by the Seattle Mariners in 01. So that's crazy.
Drew's first year with the Mariners when he hit for like 395 and just stole a million bases and robbed a million home runs.
He said Ranger Fina get $200 million 5-year contract.
Oh,
he said.
No, I mean a lot. It's baseball. Like a lot of those, Dominican, Venezuelan, all those players, they never ask for crazy amount of money because they come up from nothing. You know, they'll be with $50 million, $100 million over 5 years. It's not like Aaron Nola getting $300 million because he's from Louisiana and he's like, oh well, I think I could get $300 million and I could be just a third star team.
Exactly.
These guys are built different, you know.
He said there's been a good 10 years for Ranger. Hell yeah, it's been. I'm excited, man.
Like,
You know,
contract at whatever he wants. Buy him a house. Send money. Let him buy the Phillies Dominican baseball, the Phillies Venezuelan baseball club. Have him own it. Like back up the Brinks truck. Let him have Billy Penn's statue. The rights and trademark to Gritty. Like give him whatever he wants. Yeah. Have him be next mayor of Philadelphia if he wants it.
Yeah, so I'm excited, man. We'll see what the Phillies have for the next 2/3 of the season, and where they're going to be, where they're going to be at. And then on top of it, the Eagles got a hell of a lot. So we'll see well, they have a bright future. We're going to see there's a stacked team. I still think they're going to make some moves before the trade deadline. In trade deadline.
I'm really excited for the Eagles season because I now got an AM/FM radio in my living room, and it's pretty loud. Sony. It's like an old school Sony, and it's freaking loud, and I can't wait to listen to Merrill on it. Like, I'm really excited. I'll have people over, I'm really excited for the Eagles season.
Yeah, man, absolutely, dude. So we'll have some big Birds games ahead, and then on top of it, Phillies at that point are going to be, it's going to be, getting around for the playoffs when football season's going on. And then, we're going to see what happens with the Sixers, too. I mean, they have a lot to prove still, but, this is going to be a big offseason, a lot of free.
Give Max.
What's that?
Give Maxey the max.
Yeah, we're going to need a third piece. I personally would like either Brandon Ingram or Mikal Bridges, two people that they're not talking about enough.
But yeah, Mikal Bridges, they need to
swing out of Brooklyn.
They need an elite swing man that could score. And I don't know if Jimmy Butler is. I think Miami re-signed him, right? So and he's a little older, so that might be out of the question. But
yeah, he said he wants LeBron. He knows me. I'm one of the biggest LeBron fans there is. I'm following the guy. But the thing about it is I feel like he's either going to stay in LA or maybe go back to Cleveland. I don't know. I really don't think Cleveland's even they say the whole thing with Bronny. I don't know if you've seen the scouting reports on Bronny, and it's
Bronny he might not even make it because he's got a heart condition now, and he barely got through the season. Big ups to him. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He honestly doesn't even have to play baseball. He can be like a or something.
He's like a Bronny with the 16th. Here's the thing about Bronny though, he could be out of the league in 2 years, to be honest. Then LeBron, then you're kind of. LeBron could be out of the league in a year or two, and then you're stuck with Bronny. And apparently they're saying that he's really not NBA caliber.
No, but I think Bryce James is. Bryce James is going to be elite. He's really good.
He said it's worth it. Play for 2 minutes. And the thing is, LeBron hasn't really officially said that he's going to come here. Not come here, but go wherever some plays. Even though Bronny, he could even play.
You know what? He's going to be like an influencer. He already is. He hangs out with Aiden Ross and all that. So I think he's just going to be an influencer, and that's fine.
That Daryl Morey's going to do is he's going to freaking go out and he's going to sign Paul George to a freaking max deal, and that's not what I want us to do.
Come on, dude. What is it?
I don't want
14 all over again. Yeah,
it's what I don't want. And people say Jimmy Butler. I love Jimmy Butler. Number one, I don't think he's leaving Miami. I don't think they're going to let him go. And number two, even if we did get him, he's older now at this point, 5 years later, and injury prone. And I don't want to say injury prone, but he has his moments where he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
And I think it would be an emotional move for this franchise. A lot of people would be super happy. I love Jimmy Butler, to be honest.
And he does have ass appeal. He was in the Fall Out Boy video, so
I would want Jimmy Butler over Paul George, man. I do not want Paul George here. I do not want
dude. Last time Paul George was any good was when he was on the 2K17 cover.
Yeah, he just disappeared in the playoffs. He's another one. I don't want, and that's the thing. He might have 2 more years in him, and then Paul George is just then you're stuck with another Tobias Harris contract, and that's not what I want for this organization. If you get Paul George, you have to win in the next 2 years. It's a monster.
Yeah. I think Mikal is the best move by far.
I would love to get Mikal here.
Maybe somehow get Enzo. I don't know if they can because I know
I don't think he's leaving New York. And I don't think they're letting him go.
I think that's going to fall apart with Thibodeau. I think all those guys are going to leave because nobody.
Well, yeah, me and Mario were saying that. I was like, dude, Thibodeau is just never going to win a championship. Knicks fans did not want to hear it. I was like, yo, Thibodeau, this is what happens. His guys break down in the playoffs. He plays them 40-plus minutes a night.
Yeah.
People play players 40-plus minutes a night during the season. Like, these guys are going to break down.
I imagine I would love to see that team with Nick Nurse. That would have been so fire to watch, though.
You're saying the Knicks team with Nick Nurse?
Oh yeah, I mean that would be exciting to watch.
He's talented. They play hard for Tibbs, but like he just playing Josh Hart 45 minutes a night during the season. Like,
I mean, even Jay Wright didn't do that.
No, like it's just these guys break down, man. Thibodeau's had a history that I personally believe Derrick Rose got hurt because of him, man. Like,
yeah, he didn't have to play. And what was that game 2? Where they were winning by 30. Why was Rose in there? Just play. They had C.J. Watson. Just play C.J. Watson the rest of the game. Like what?
Because that's how Thibodeau is. Like that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want him here. Mario still to this day says he wish he would have had him here since other than Thibodeau. I mean, other than Doc Rivers, because Thibodeau would have gave the work to Ben Simmons. I'll say this though. Ben Simmons probably would have just said, "I'm out of here."
Yeah, he would
have ran. He would have ran for the hills if Thibodeau was here. He would have I'm out.
Dude, Embiid would quit. Like that's how bad he would have been for this franchise. It would be as bad as Eddie Jordan if you remember that. Like when Eddie Jordan came in, like that was a good team, and Eddie Jordan came in, and they were the worst team in the NBA somehow. Like what the heck?
Yeah,
like they were so bad. They were desperate for Allen Iverson to come back. And he was chilling at TGI Fridays on City Line, and they were like, "Yo, you want to come play for us? We're so bad anyway." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he was crying on the night he came back. Like, still sucked.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for Philly sports, and then we'll see if the Flyers take a step up. But it's just the Phillies. Phillies have a lot of promise. Eagles have a lot of promise, and the Sixers have a big offseason ahead.
Yeah.
So Philly sports, we're still here, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But I guess we could get ready to wrap up. I know we had fun with it, so we went a little later. We broke down the schedule.
Yeah.
So I have them finishing 13-4. And Thomas, what was your prediction again for the Birds?
13-3-1 or 12-4.
So you both have
high against
13 wins.
Let's keep that.
Yeah.
Great.
13 wins. I think that's like a sweet spot.
Yeah.
13 wins. I think Rich probably would have been around the same range. So guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I want to say Heath, thanks for commenting in, brother. I know for a lot of people, it's later than we usually do it. For you, it actually might work out better because just the time in here. But for a lot of people, it's a little later than we usually do.
I got to be up early, but I don't care because I have my energy back and stuff. So I usually wake up at 5 anyway, even if I'm up till 11. So
yeah, I got to get up early tomorrow too, man. So yeah, just it was good to come on here though, Tom. We'll definitely have to get together, man, and catch up in person for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's been a fun one. I'm looking forward, man. We'll definitely do a Phillies one as the season goes on too. Eventually, I think in a few weeks they're gonna play the Orioles. That should be a good series. And
are they playing in Baltimore? I really want to go to Baltimore and go to that stadium too. Like that'd be awesome.
Let me check for you really quick. See where we're at with that.
Go to Camden. Yeah, I really want to go to PNC Park. I love going to Pittsburgh. You ever been there?
I actually am not, but I heard the stadium.
Oh, it's a beautiful city. I mean, it's like it's way deader than Philly is. But if you like bridges, if you like modern marvels and views and going up on hills, and
I heard it's nice.
It's a great city to take pictures in. But like outside of the central, like you go like maybe a mile outside the city, it's like dead. Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
like,
so
I have a lot out there. And everything in Pittsburgh closes at like 11, except for Primani's and a couple clubs.
Oh, okay.
You can't even go to 7-Eleven after 7-Eleven's literally 7 to 11 there. It's not like 24/7 is here.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah, things close at 11, except for like bars and stuff. So
that's interesting, man.
Yeah,
well,
have weird ordinances.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, they got the Orioles. They are in Baltimore, June 14th to June 16th.
Love that.
I think it might be a weekend too. So out there in Baltimore, man, should be interesting.
Go find Omar.
Yeah, exactly.
Go find Omar. Avon's out down there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere definitely is.
He's probably still down there.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. All
right, brother. It was a pleasure doing it. Doing this episode with you, man. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Rich as well, and to everybody else out there. I just want to say thank you for tuning in, even if you're watching the broadcast after the live stream. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week for episode 174. And I want to tell everybody, have a great Memorial Day weekend. It's already here. Can't believe the kickoff of the summer is already coming up this weekend. So, guys, stay safe out there. Have fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get some nice weather.
All right. Yeah. Peace.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Take care.